I guess that many of us would consider the greatest Christmas present this year is the discovery of a vaccine to deal with the coronavirus, giving us the prospect of a return to normal in the early months of 2021. That would give us the hope of a really happy new year. What a relief to be able to visit families, to visit elderly people, to have meals out, to shop, to go to sports events, not to have muffled conversations through a mask, to be able to hug, all the things we took so much for granted at the beginning of this year, a return to normal. Of course, lessons will have been learned through this experience. Some things will be different when we come out of this period. Some values will be changed. Many people seem to have discovered the therapeutic value of nature by walking, which they may not normally have done, and thinking more about the beauty of our planet. So many have also been involved in caring for others, which they have found so stimulating and rewarding. But as we think about returning to normal, can we now really consider that the world before coronavirus was normal? Of course, many of us could go about our normal, familiar routine more freely. But what about the bigger picture? Were things happily normal? It was normal for there to be vast inequalities, the rich becoming richer and the poor becoming poorer, with more billionaires than ever before. Extravagant living while millions are dying from hunger and huge numbers of children dying from preventable diseases. It was recently calculated that to provide adequate resources, food, water, health, housing, for everyone living impoverished lives would cost less than the world spends on armaments every 2 weeks. Should that be normal? There are more suicides, especially among young men, than ever before. Normal? It is normal for there to be drug trafficking on a huge scale, often involving children in distribution, lives being blighted, families affected, and many dying. It was recently reported that 1,264 people died in Scotland alone from drugs, the highest since records began. It is normal for there to be racial discrimination and hatred, political confusion, the destruction of our beautiful planet for commercial gain. The Secretary of the United Nations recently said, "We are waging war against nature." There is more frequent breaking up of relationships, often with sad effects upon children. And so we could go on. All these things are normal in our world. In spite of all our brilliant scientific advances and amazing technology, there seems to be a moral virus which is harming and destructive in so many ways, with even more devastating results than the coronavirus. Surely there is something deep inside every right-thinking person that says all this should not be normal. So what's wrong with our human race? What is the diagnosis? Surely the problems originate in the individual human heart. In the final analysis, it all comes down to individuals who make up the human race. Someone said the veneer of civilization is very thin. How true. There is natural pride, self-seeking, envy, lack of compassion, and the seeds of all this are there in the human heart, even alongside so much that may be good. And we need only the right conditions for these bad things to germinate and flourish. Don't we all know it if we are honest? Jesus said in Mark's Gospel in the Bible, "What comes out of a man makes him unclean. For from within, out of men's hearts come evil thoughts." And he realistically lists the things which originate from within. We have a heart problem. Surely in our best moments we know we're not the people we should be. The conscience is at work within us. So often inside we're not the people we give the impression of being. So can this moral virus be dealt with as effectively as the coronavirus? Can the heart be changed? We're familiar with the song written by John Newton, "Amazing Grace." So often these words are sung without fully appreciating what John Newton was saying. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. John, facing up honestly to his true heart's condition, realized that he could only describe himself as a wretch. John was speaking about the change in his own heart. He was brought up to sing hymns and to read the Bible, but he rejected all that and chose to live a life of free thinking and fast living. Eventually, he became a hardened, callous slave ship captain. But then he had an amazing encounter with God, which changed his heart completely. After that, he became a Christian pastor who was noted for his love and devotion to his wife, and he became pastor of the most influential church in the city of London, and had a reputation for warmth and caring, and his work affected the lives of thousands. So he told his story in this song. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. Can the heart be changed? Can it be infused and motivated by love and care? Can we experience the true normal? The real Christmas message is a resounding, exciting yes. Christmas tells us that there is a powerful vaccine. There can be real change in the heart, which will bring peace and new purpose. But we all need changed hearts. True? We need new motivation, new hearts. Christmas has been trivialized, but its true meaning is summed up in the words of John's Gospel in the Bible. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, Jesus Christ, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Jesus Christ came into the world not just as a great teacher or a good example, though he was certainly both. He came as a rescuer, a saviour, by his life, death on the cross, and his resurrection. He came to change hearts, to bring us back where we really belong, at home, in a life-changing relationship to God. True normality, true freedom. If you would care to follow this up and to read more about Jesus Christ and who he is and what he has achieved and what he can do for us, then read about this in John's Gospel in the Bible. That Gospel makes all these things very clear. Now, we'd be very, very happy to send you a copy of John's Gospel in a modern translation, quite free of charge, if you were to get in touch with us at Brighton 01273 682 788. And if you just leave a message or your address, we will then send you a copy of John's Gospel. We hope to hear from you. In the meantime, God bless you, and we hope that you have a really happy Christmas and a really good New Year. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.